guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a what's in my camera bag. There are two reasons why I'm really excited for this. One is because I'm actually about to go on a photography road trip with a very good photographer friend of mine, so I've been thinking about what I'm going to be taking in my bag a lot. And the second reason is that I recently sold a ton of my cameras and have purchased some new gear, so I thought it'd be cool to let you guys know what I'm taking every time I go out to take photos. So this is my backpack. It weighs more than me, it's really big, but I've used it for about a year now and I love it. It is the Low Pro 450 Pro Tactic AW. What a name, I know. It's really big and it's very plain, and that's what I was looking for. My friends kind of make fun of me because it's kind of definitely like a dad backpack. The bag is very comfortable. I'm not a huge backpack guy, as many of you have seen in previous videos. When I'm walking around town, I actually usually am just going to use a tote bag with a camera insert. But when I do have to use a backpack, you obviously want it to be comfortable, and I'm usually dragging a ton of gear around in here, and it can take a beating. Very hard shell. You can throw this bag around if you're in a hurry and not worry about your gear being damaged. So yeah, I would recommend this bag for anybody who's looking for something that can carry a lot of weight, that is durable, and if you enjoy something that's a little bit more plain. The first thing that I have in my camera bag these days is the Mamiya RZ67 Pro 2. I'm currently using the 90mm lens. I have a long history with this camera. I've owned it a few times, and I like to look at my relationship with this particular camera kind of as a battle. Even though I'm still learning how to use it effectively, and more times than not I get images that I don't love, there's just something inside of me that won't let this camera go. I am enjoying the 90mm a lot more than I enjoyed the 110. I'm not a huge portrait guy, and so I like a wider angle when I'm shooting a landscape or a building or whatever I'm trying to do. So on this time around, I'm very glad that I did purchase the 90. This is just my main medium format rig that I'm going out with every time in my backpack these days. The next thing that I have with me in my bag at all times right now is my all-time favorite 35mm point and shoot, the Contax T2. I recently acquired this in December. This camera has a 38mm Carl Zeiss 2.8 lens, which is pretty incredible to have a Carl Zeiss lens and something this compact. For those of you who may be wondering why I love this camera so much, it really comes down to the feel of the camera in my hand. It doesn't even have as much to do with the lens quality. I have a multitude of really good point and shoots that take the same quality of pictures as this, but this is the one that I go back to time and time again just because of the titanium that it's made of and the size of it in my hand. This camera is incredibly overpriced, and I would say it's probably not worth it depending on who you are. The prices just continue to climb because a lot of celebrities are using them. I'm constantly using this camera no matter where I'm at, so it's always in my bag. And just for an example, even this morning before we filmed this video, it was snowing a little bit outside my house, and I took this camera with me. Wherever I go, this goes with me, and I just love it. It will always be in my bag. Contax T2 point and shoot camera. The next thing I'm carrying in my bag every day right now is the LEICA MINILUX camera. This is a 35mm point and shoot. It comes with a LEICA Summeret 40mm 2.4 lens. Full disclosure, I have not taken one photo on this camera. I just purchased it from a buddy with a little trade we did, and I'm gonna maybe try and do a video for you guys. Leave a comment if you'd like to see that, but I just probably want to see what it does, and I've got one roll of Portra 400 in it right now, so hopefully I can at least go through a roll because I want to see what it can do. I know it's a little bit overkill to have 2 point and shoots in my bag, but if you've been around on the channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a sucker for 35mm point and shoots, so they're small and I can just throw them in. So I'm currently carrying 2 point and shoots in my bag. The next thing I have in my bag obviously is some film. The main film for medium format that I'm rocking with right now is Portra 800. My mama, shout out to my mama, got me these 2 packs for Christmas, so it's what I'm using right now. Another thing I did want to note, just kind of a tip, I always do try and take a variety of films when I do go out to shoot in my bag. So actually in one of these packs there's black and white Ilford stocks, there's an Ektar 100, because it just kind of gives me some peace of mind knowing whatever the light is doing or whatever the situation, I'm covered. So yeah, a little tip, if you do have the extra film lying around, I don't like to leave it in the refrigerator. I like to make sure that I've always got a variety with me on hand. The next thing that I've got in my bag is 4 rolls of Portra 400 for my point and shoots. As you've seen, I'm kind of a point and shoot nerd, so it's always good for me to have tons of rolls of 35mm on hand, whether I can't afford Portra at the time and I've got Kodak Gold or Kodak Color Plus or even a black and white stock, but we're coming off Christmas, so I currently have the good stuff. So I always have at least 2 spare rolls of 35mm film in my bag for my point and shoots. The next thing that I have in my bag is a light meter. Not all of my film cameras that I'm currently using have a light meter or have one that I trust, so I kind of have to have this when I'm out and about. I do use light meter apps on my phone, and they're actually a lot better than you would think, but I do like to have a real light meter just in case I really want to make sure the photo is properly exposed. My light meter is the Contax digital spot meter. I purchased this because I shoot a lot of landscapes, and so I'm often trying to read light on a very particular area. This light meter is pretty pricey. It can run you anywhere from $300 to $500. So I actually wouldn't recommend this light meter either, but you could probably get something that would do the same job for a lot cheaper. But this is the one that I'm using, and until it breaks, it's probably what I'm gonna keep around in my bag. The next thing I have is this thing. Leave a comment of what you call this, because me and my friends in the room right now, we don't know what we call this. I call it a blower, some call it a duster, some call it a rocket thing. But yeah, I've got one of these. I think when I first started into photography, somebody who was helping me and kind of guiding me along pulled one of these out one day and just kind of hit it on his lens, and I just thought, oh my god, that's magic. And so that was a long time ago, and so now I have my own, the blower rocket lens air thing. I love it. Never not gonna have it in my bag. Always in my bag. This is my tripod. I'm not very familiar with tripods. I'm still pretty uncomfortable with all of them, including this one, but I did recently purchase this specifically for my Mamiya RZ67. A lot of the reason that I was failing with that camera previously was because I was shooting it handheld a lot, so I knew that if I wanted to have a more successful journey with the RZ this time, I needed to invest in a tripod and get comfortable with it. So I purchased this ProMaster professional tripod. There will be a link down below to the exact model. I went to my local store because I wanted to be able to put the RZ on the tripod to make sure that it would be incredibly stable. So since I am going out with the RZ quite frequently right now in my bag, that means that this tripod is always coming along with me. The next thing I have in my bag is a shutter release cable. I'm going out a lot right now shooting the RZ on a tripod, shooting in low light situations, or doing long exposures. So I just have this in my bag. It's very small, it doesn't get in the way, and they're really cheap, so it's just a good thing for me to have right now in my bag. Next, I have an assortment of random batteries. If you've been shooting film for any amount of time, you know that the batteries are kind of difficult to come by. Each camera uses a pretty unique battery, especially if it's an older camera. So one thing that I do personally is every time I acquire a new film camera, I go to the battery store and I purchase whatever battery it needs. So I have a bunch of random batteries right here for whatever camera is in my bag. There is no fear that I personally have greater in my life than my film camera's battery dying when I'm out shooting, so I always have these random batteries. Next up is my Sharpie. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a Sharpie is, but why it's important to me and why it's always in my bag is because I like to label the rolls of film that I'm shooting. I don't always have enough money to send off all my film when I'm done shooting it, and so sometimes it makes it difficult for me to go back and remember what camera it was shot on or what were me and my friends doing that day that we were shooting. So I'm not the best at always doing it, but it's something that I try my best to do, and it's very important to me. So always have my Sharpie so I can label my rolls. Next up are my ZEISS wipes. I always have these in my bag for 2 reasons. 1, for my glasses when I am wearing them, and 2, for my camera lenses. So kind of a little deal, but I've got a large box of them at home, and I always have at least a few on me when I'm going out. Next up are my AirPods. A little tech review for you guys. These are the original AirPods. I do actually own the AirPod Pros, but they give me a headache, so I never use them. So maybe do a Google search before you buy those. So I always just use the regular ones unless I'm going on an airplane and I need the noise canceling, but yeah, everybody loves headphones, so I keep my regular AirPods in my bag. I'll flip it open like that, like FBI. Alright, next is my passport. I'm not always traveling internationally, obviously. I'm not that cool, but I always do have it in my bag in case on a road trip or something I'm close to the Canadian border or the Mexico border, which I might be soon in an upcoming trip. But yeah, I always have my passport, nothing special, pretty beat up, so. The last thing that I carry in my backpack is a Apple MacBook Pro, I think it is. I'm not a tech guy. And then my charger, obviously. The backpack does have a laptop sleeve and a place for my charger. So, you know, you never know when you need to answer an email or if I'm gonna be hanging out at the coffee shop before we go to shoot. So I always take it with me just because you never know. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? This is being filmed the day before the video is uploaded, and we're still rookies at YouTube and have no idea what we're doing. So we were just finishing the edit in the coffee shop for the video to go up tomorrow, and we realized we didn't film an outro. For some reason, we just completely forgot. So this is your outro. Please leave a comment down below about what's in your bag. I'd love to hear what you're rocking right now. As always, you can subscribe and leave a like. That really helps me out and lets me know that you're just enjoying the content that we're working very hard to make. You can follow me on Instagram somewhere around here. And down below, I will do my best to put links for every single thing that I did mention in the video so you can check it out for yourself. We'll see you guys next week for another video.